Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. This is Bagel. Things look a little different today because she's visiting. She's not getting a divorce, but she's just here to hang out. Please make sure that you've subscribed to my channel if you haven't already. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about what not to do in a courtroom. In family law, especially in Florida, finally getting in front of a judge is like winning a jackpot and then getting a notification on the slot machine that the machine is out of order. In Florida, you're waiting forever to get in front of a judge, and the day finally comes that you're in front of a judge and then the hearing gets canceled, or the judge makes a crazy ruling, or the judge reschedules your hearing. Let's assume you finally get in front of a judge, and today is your day. I wanted to talk about some things not to do in a courtroom so you can be as successful as possible once that day finally comes. The number one thing to not do in a courtroom is make faces. As you're sitting in a courtroom, the other side is going to say outrageous things. They're gonna lie, they're gonna exaggerate. You're going to naturally wanna make a face because you're gonna be surprised about the lie or whatever is coming out. Don't do it. Judges are watching. They are watching the reaction of the litigants, and you want to appear as the calm one. Number two, don't be late. Court is a professional time. When you arrive at the courtroom, you're probably gonna be sitting out in the hallway waiting to be called in for your hearing. You may very well check in with a bailiff or a clerk. And you know what? You may not even get called in at the time of your hearing because maybe the judge is running late. Talk about a double standard. But the person you check in with, they talk to the judge. I promise they talk to the judge. So if you show up late, even if it's not time for your hearing to be called yet, but you're late and you check in late, the bailiff or the clerk that you're checking in with is gonna tell the judge that you were late. And it shouldn't affect the judge's ruling at all. But judges are people. Maybe this one really likes punctuality. So if you can do everything in your power to do the best for yourself in a courtroom, that's what you should do. Be on time. Don't be unprepared. If you have a lawyer, make sure you meet with them before the hearing. Judges cannot stand unprepared litigants. Even if your lawyer doesn't want to meet with you, force the meeting. You're not going to be able to change lawyers at the last minute after a hearing that you've been waiting on for months and months and months. So since you have to go to a hearing with the lawyer who's currently representing you, force a meeting, which will hopefully force a preparation for the hearing. If you are representing yourself and you don't have a lawyer, be organized. Make sure you have your evidence ready to go. The number one tip I can give is if you have a video and you want to show the video to the judge, make sure that video is not just on your cell phone. If it's on your cell phone, how are you going to show it to the court? How is the court going to take it in as evidence? Call the courthouse before, talk to the IT department, figure out what technology is available, and make sure your evidence complies with that available technology. If your hearing is on Zoom, make sure your video is on your computer and not on your phone or however you're doing your Zoom hearing. Again, you need to make sure that the evidence that you have is able to be submitted to the court. Don't assume why a question is being asked. Just answer the questions that are being asked of you and listen so that you know what questions are actually being asked of you. I'll give you an example. There is a question asked, what is your work schedule? And you, as the person answering that question, think that the reason the question is being asked is so that they can prove that you can't pick up the kids from school every day. So you say, my work schedule is from 8:30 to 5, but I'm able to leave work whenever I want in order to go pick up my kids, and some days I can work from home, and you just start word vomiting. When in reality, the only reason that that question was being asked was to make sure that you're working full time. So you gave all of this extra information for no reason. Make sure you're answering the questions being asked of you and don't try to assume why a question is being asked of you. That's not your job. Don't be disrespectful. And I can't believe I have to say this, but it's true. Judges really like respect, obviously. So don't raise your voice. Don't talk over the judge. The judge may say something that to you is outrageous or outlandish. Keep it inside. Don't have an outburst. These are professional proceedings and you want to make sure that you are portraying your best self to the court. There are still some hearings that are being held via Zoom. If your hearing is being held via Zoom, I wanted to give you a few tips and pointers of things to do and not to do. The first thing to do is if you're walking in or you're entering a Zoom hearing and it's a hearing with a bunch of people, maybe it's a motion calendar or a calendar call, and there are a ton of lawyers and people on the Zoom, don't say, hello, can everybody hear me? Because I assure you we can all hear you and it's just annoying. Number two, if you have a Zoom hearing, please do not do it from bed. Please do not do it in your pajamas. Just because it's on Zoom doesn't mean it's not a professional proceeding. Do make sure you change your Zoom name. You don't want to be Matthew's mom or Matthew's dad. You want to put your actual name there so everybody knows and the judge knows who they're supposed to be talking to. And finally, make sure that you mute yourself if you're not talking. If you're not being asked questions, even if your case is called but your testimony is not needed, keep yourself muted. Hopefully you learned something during this video and hopefully you do win the jackpot when you do eventually go to your hearing. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.